The Burke-Litwin model. As models go, the Burke-Litwin change model is one of the most complex models. While the McKinsey 7S framework model works on 7 factors, the Burke-Litwin model includes 12 factors, each interrelated. It is therefore more complex than even the 12-step model for change. Let's review and summarize the factors. External environment. In most models, the external environment is the spark that sets off the process. Here, it's more than that, as the external environment not only provides the initial energy for the change, but also shapes how the change works its way through the organization. Leadership. There's no doubt that good leadership is critical in every organization, but it is doubly so when it comes to implementing change. Without clear leadership, the organization may get stuck in what William Bridges would call the neutral zone. Leadership itself is notoriously difficult to define, as Joseph Ross indicates in his book, Leadership for the 21st Century. But it's also critically important, as Edith Penrose explains in The Theory of the Growth of a Firm. Mission and strategy. While too many organizations have uninspiring missions that are more platitude than practicality, the change's alignment with the mission of the organization can accelerate or slow a change. Strategy can similarly be informed or informal. Simon Sinek encourages organizations to start with why in motivating their employees and planning their strategies. Next, culture. The culture is the result of the people and the environment of the organization, but once established, it tends to be self-sealing and protective of itself. Because of this, it is both influenced by and influences the other factors of the model. Management practices. Management practices are the way the people are managed, from very authoritative models to more open and inclusive models. Structure. Nearly every organization has an organizational chart. The chart puts structure around the relationships between people. The structure, like the structure provided by the bones of a human body. It's good, and it's necessary. Some structures, like management practices, encourage more free-flowing change, and others more regimented change. Systems. Systems here are the kinds of systems that Michael Gerber advocates in the E-Myth. They're the processes and procedures that an organization uses to achieve consistent results. Work climates. Frederick Hertzberg's Harvard Business Review article, One More Time, How Do You Motivate Employees?, was published in 1968, and it became the most requested reprint that HBR has ever had. In his research, Hertzberg indicated that the relationships with supervisors, peer, and subordinates have a substantial impact on motivations. These work units can either embrace or resist change depending upon their makeup. If they're too tightly coupled, they'll reject the outside change, and if they're too loosely coupled, they'll chase any change that comes, never finishing any of the changes they start. Skills job match. The greater degree with which people have a fit to the change, the faster the change will come. In How We Measure Your Life, Clayton Christensen proposes that we need to find tasks that are aligned with who we want to be. If the changes are contrary to the skills an employee possesses, then the change will be harder to accomplish. In the ADKAR model, the second A is about ability or skills to accomplish the change. Motivation. Stephen Rees reduced the factors that motivate people to 16 items. These factors, he claims, motivate all of us differently. With everyone being motivated differently, they'll respond differently as the organization changes, and they'll change the organization in ways that align to their motivation. Individual needs and values. We cannot ignore that individuals are not cogs in some giant machine. They influence other factors and are influenced by them. It's important, if not critical, to assess individual needs and values for the people influencing change to know how to motivate them. Jonathan Haidt, in The Righteous Mind, argues that the entire foundation of morality rests on just 6 values that we all share in varying degrees. It's up to us to understand how people solve challenges between these values. Performance. To the victor go the spoils. Those organizations whose performance keeps improving can easily afford to invest more in change than those that are struggling. It's not that struggling organizations won't invest in change. They may have to, but it will be harder for them to do so. Criticisms. The primary criticism of the Burke-Litwin model is that it's too complex. It's too difficult to identify, much less adjust 12 factors. Despite this, it's a good index of the kinds of factors one must address to accomplish change in their organization.